Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers. Welcome to another edition of Living Simply and Fun. If you can get it right here, you can see Moppy is sitting here looking for a handout.
Well, he knows we're doing something here.
Moppy down. Mama and Daddy's doing something.
He can be where he wants to be. You don't say. Sorry about this. Yes, Moppy. We're doing a double review today. Again, as we've kind of liked doing the double reviews. First, let's introduce to you the wine. It is Francis Coppola's Claret. Now, I've been interested in Clarett for a long time. One thing that I like is classic literature, particularly British literature. So, Clarett really interested me because a lot of, at least from novels written in the time frame, Clarett actually seemed to be like the #1 alcohol of choice for wine in most upscale, high society England, at least up until, maybe the 1950s. I don't know if it still is or not. But I've always wanted to try a Clarett. Now, a lot of people say a Claret's just a Cabernet Sauvignon. In fact, the bottle even says that Clarett is a Cabernet Sauvignon-based style. However, this predated, from what I can gather, Cabernet Sauvignons, which, as far as I can tell, now maybe not. My wine history is not that great. I do know what I know from literature. So perhaps it is a Cabernet based, but this could actually be what influenced Cabernet. But it's not the same. And so I really wanted to try a Clarett. Now, of course, we've read that the reviews on this are horrible. I have a feeling that that might just be because of his name, but we will let you know as this goes on. I think it's got a mild smell with some chocolate in it.
I'm picking up hints of fruitiness.
Oh, yes. Most wines have fruitiness.
Yes, it's because they're made
I didn't mention the fruitiness,
drinks.
But there is kind of a chocolate smell. Next in our double review is a Rocky Patel Mulligan Masters Collection. Now, the Rocky Patel Mulligans are a exclusive to Holt Cigars. And we've had the Caddy's Choice, the private stock, I think, or something like that.
The Caddy's selection. We had the green
and we've
one.
had the blue
private
one, the green one, and the orange
and the green one and the orange one. And
I've
the
had
other
the blue
one was
one.
Caddy Choice.
Yeah.
And this one was the latest one. I want to say before we
I didn't like the orange one, but the green and the blue were great.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to trying this.
I would like to make a statement of our Rocky Patel Mulligans Masters Collection.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to make a statement on this, like a warning, I think.
A warning.
First of all, children, if you're seeing us drinking, turn it off. We don't want you seeing it. This girl does not want you. We don't endorse under 18 drinking.
Or smoking.
Secondly, I don't want any of our subscribers like that one idiot telling us that this is like a Rocky Patel cargo renamed.
And there's a good possibility that Rocky Patel took another blend and made it for this, but I will say this. When you look at Holt's, they have more off-brand Rocky Patels than almost anywhere else. So, more than likely, other places are getting rip-offs of what they make for Holt's. Like the Cargo could have been originally a Holt's blend. Now, I'm not talking to Rocky Patel himself to say, are each of these individually a blend? Now, I do know this about Rocky Patel is that he loves blending cigars. In fact, he does most of his own blending, and he will blend all the time if he's got any free time. And he saves just about every recipe for every blend that he's ever made. Some of them make the cut, some don't make the cut, but you never know. One of the ones that didn't make the cut might make the cut next week. In fact, that's what happened with the Cargo. The Cargo even had kind of a statement about the fact that it hadn't made the cut when he first developed it, but he decided to release it as a cheap stick. So I know there's the Renaissance and tons of others, But yeah, we're doing the Mulligan. This was a happy inclusion. They apparently ran out of Argyle torpedoes, so they included 2 Rocky Patel Mulligan Masters Collection torpedoes, and we really wanted to try this, so it was
a blessing. Also, I want to say, for the record, for some of you, oh, look at Moppy, so cute over there. Anyways, what I wanted to say for the record for you people out there watching this is, I will get to what I'm smelling, but I want to make a statement about this also. The rumor has it is this cigar was the one that was donated and given with Rocky's own signature at the Masters golf tournament.
Yes, and since I've heard that, I have a feeling that the Mulligans are their own blend that was created just for the golfers at these events. Now, what I'm picking up is kind of, well, first of all, I'd say that this is more than likely possibly a Sumatra wrapper, as there's quite a bit of green mixed in here with the tan, or it's an underage leaf. Because it still hasn't dried to the point of all being brown.
Just continue talking for a second.
I'm smelling. There's kind of a paperish smell and some kind of leathery hints to the odor. And I think this is going to smoke very nicely. Rita, you got us. Well, you're busy now.
I smelled it. I think I'm just checking something for our viewers. So can you just continue for a second?
Well, I don't want to light mine until you've done yours.
Yes, I know, but you asked a question. It is an Ecuador Habano wrapper.
Ah, it's an Ecuador Habano. But there is a lot of green coloration modeled in throughout the wrapper. The seams look pretty good. Mine's actually got a tear along the seam, which might end up being a problem. But there's some leaf veins in here, too. I've never had a problem with that, though, so I really don't care. And there's a section where the seam, the wrapper is bunched up on itself, like it got too wet, perhaps.
For me, I'm picking up hay and notes of cedar.
I'll agree with the hay.
And a little hint of vanilla and spice.
I'm not getting that, but anyways, we're going to fire these up.
Isn't working good, so...
I'm picking up the leather notes almost right away. It's so far pretty mild on the first puff.
And so, you know, I am blind, so if any of you give me hell for it, I won't appreciate it. I finally got it. What do you think?
Looks fine. We've explained that before, but she does get insulted for it sometimes, so.
Yes, and the other insult.
Watch out.
And the other insult.
Anyways, well, I don't think it'll be a problem in a second. Neighbor came upstairs or something.
The other thing I wanted to say to you all is, first initial smoke is not bad, but I do want to say for the record.
There's a pine-ish flavor to this. I don't pick up pine very often in cigars, even though I do pick up a woody smell sometimes or a flavor. This is more of a pine, and pine and leather is what I'm picking up.
I'm picking up leather and pine too. I gotta completely agree with you. I did want to say, for the record, since I do cigar reviews with him and we always try new ones and we're pairing them with blinds, I don't want anyone to post the weirdest thing on our channel. Dude, is that a girl or a boy?
There's no need for that.
No. So there you have it. Let's see.
I mean, does it really matter? Hey, Mop, watch out.
Does for Mop. Mama's a mama is a mama.
Well, let's get into this wine a bit.
Yes.
I wanted to have a unobstructed flavor of the cigar first, because we primarily do cigar videos, not wine videos. Luckily, that was on my leg and not the carpet.
Sweet. That's all I could say. Sweet and tart and fruitiness.
The viscosity is pretty good on this. And that smell is still kind of a fruity chocolate.
It'll taste like a fruity chocolate, too.
Kind of tart. Rather dry. I would say this tastes nothing like a Cabernet.
No, Cabernet is not. You know, is...
It's got some kind of pepper as it goes down the throat. And, there's still that kind of chocolatey flavor in there. I'm not picking up as much of the fruit, and it is a little on the bitter side, but it's actually, so far, very, very good. And given the flavors I've gotten from the cigar, I'm having a feeling that this might be a very good pairing.
Well, I hope so, too.
And besides, the Brits and many of the British novels like to have their cigars with Clarett, so this is actually more old school than mixing scotch with a cigar.
Yeah, but I'd rather have some $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 $1,000 cognac. Oh, and by the way, for you boys out there over at Desert Smoke, Wyatt, Justin, Monty, hope to see you soon on a video. And by the way, Aaron's head's in the video for once.
Mm-hmm. And this is kind of tart and sweet. It's definitely a slow sipper, which I'm going to like. Because I prefer not to get drunk on wine, but to enjoy the wine, and slow sippers are much better than drink the glass quickly. So, I don't have any other Claretts I've ever tried to compare this to, but I can compare it to other wines. And so far, I gotta say that next to Syrahs, which are one of my favorites.
Oh, talking about Syrahs, may I share
really
something
like this.
about a Syrah?
Yeah.
Francis Coppola's winery makes a Syrah, as well as other things. I was looking it up today.
And this just drew my attention to it. If you see the bottle, it's actually wrapped in a little bit of like gold string. It's probably fake gold, but it's definitely a metal. I don't know. The bottle looked interesting too. I didn't like the price tag. This ended up costing me $14, but
I just want to make a statement. He wouldn't let me get away with the Carlo Rossi, plus the fact, hold on, before you make any jokes, plus the fact they didn't have the 1.5 liter jug available, so we cannot pair it with this. So we spent a little more money, about the same price as the Carlo Rossi by the gallon, the Paisano, and we got that. So it works out pretty good.
You know, this I think is a better choice because you've never tried a Clarett either. And I would say this is more in line with a Syrah than a Cabernet. And I don't know. So far, I'm liking this better than many of the Syrahs I've tried. But anyways, we'll get back to you when we're in the first third, and we'll give you an update on how the wine pairs. And stay tuned.
Your light thing isn't working.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead and...
Can you fix the mini hang
Yes,
now?
I will do that. Go ahead and...
Please look for the first third. Thank you. Welcome back to the Rocky Patel Mulligans Masters Collection, third way through. As you can see, this is burning pretty fast.
No, actually, this took us almost half an hour to get a third of the way in. That's not burning too fast. So... I would still say that, to the most part, the flavors are leathery. The pineish flavor is way in the background now. It's still kind of noticeable, but it's not there. It's not like in your face. So, you have any thoughts yet?
Yes, the pineish is in the back, but what I'm picking up right now is super tastiness of cedar. I'm getting strong cedar notes.
I can't agree with the
And
cedar.
I'm getting oats.
I'll agree with oats. But again, that's still kind of a backseat to the leather. The leather is the primary flavor in this, in my opinion, so far. And I will say that the wine is still pairing very nicely. It complements the flavors. And that's one thing that's really nice about it. So, so far, I'd say the pairing is a success.
Just so you know, out there for you guys out watching this, I'm gonna fill her up. Thank you, please, please and thank you. Anyways, what I wanted to say to Aaron and to you all is, Aaron and I have been working on a project. We're just dumbstruck when it comes to trying to set up an intro that would be acceptable, that isn't stealing or copyrighted for our channel.
It's not that I'm dumbstruck. I just don't know as I have the skill to do it. And I don't think Rita does. We might want to recruit your friend Angela for that. She seems to like those things.
Cool.
Yeah, about the main flavor that I'm picking up in this is a very nice leathery. It's got a nice flavor to it. I talk about body versus flavor, and this seems to be a fairly mild-bodied cigar with a medium-bodied flavor, or a medium flavor. So, and I haven't had any construction issues. It's got a very nice ease of draw, and it produces quite a bit of smoke. So, the ash is, it's an average ash. It's not too soft or too firm. It's not one that's just going to fall off on you, and it's not flaking apart like I've seen some do. For the most part, at this point, I'd say is a fairly high-quality cigar for a cheapo brand. I think these work out to less than $2 a stick, or close to. And so,
I wanted to just say, because I have subscribers, a friend of mine, Bracy, who watches our channel, if you want this shirt, you can go buy it yourself. She said she wanted it. So,
you know, at $2 a stick, I'd buy a bundle of these. They don't come in a box or anything, nothing fancy, but they could be a very good daily smoke if you're trying to have a daily smoke that's affordable.
I agree.
At least that's my point so far. Tune in for the second half of this cigar. Oh, you got to look something up.
Yes.
Well, I was going to say wait until we hit the halfway mark, but because I had nothing more to say.
I'm just checking something.
Oh, the price per stick for sure?
Yes. Here we go. Let's see. Just for your guys, let's see. Cigars. Here we go. Just give us a second. I want to be actually on top of these. There's the Fairway edition too, which I've never seen, or the Eagle.
I haven't seen the Eagle Reserve. These are between $49.95 for the Robusto size and $64.95 for the Golden Bears, which is 6x60.
I prefer 6x60 if I can get away with it.
And what we got here is the Slammer, which is a torpedo, 6.5x52, which was $60 a bundle. And so these work out to $3 a stick then. But still, very, very, very affordable. I've never tried that one.
The Mulligan Eagle Reserve is a red label. I was just curious about it real quick, and then there's
the Fairway is the blue. No, I haven't tried that either.
And they're only by dog leg.
Which is a 7x50, so it's a Churchill.
Yes. So please look for the second, third, and we'll let you go. Thank
Yes.
you.
See you at the halfway.
Welcome back to the Rocky Patel Mulligan's Master Collection's halfway point. Aaron?
Well, I'll say this. The leather's kind of taken a bit of a back note now, and the flavor that seems to have come forward as the dominant is a very kind of earthy flavor, farmish, and I'm digging that. The flavor has gone from a medium sort of to a medium full now. So it could be that it's hitting its sweet spot early and just increasing in all the flavor for me. And as you see, I'm about halfway on that torpedo. This is so far about an hour and a half in from when we started these. And I gotta say, the wine just continues getting better with this, and I'm only on glass number 2 right now. So an hour and a half for 2 glasses of wine and a nice cigar to pair. I can't complain about it. You're on glass 3, but you haven't started glass 3 yet.
I just wanted to say that this cigar right now has changed complexity from cedar to pure oats and leather. And the leather is in the back, but I'm picking up pure oats.
The leather's still there. There's the woods flavor is kind of back, but it's not pine anymore. It's kind of maybe a cherry wood or an oak. It's got that kind of robust flavor to it that you would expect from something like that. Definitely got to say that the burn has been spot on. I've not needed one fix. Still has buckets of smoke. That little area that I said earlier that I thought there might be a concern with had no problem whatsoever. For a $2 stick, this is extremely high quality so far. I think I would definitely. $3.
$3.
Yeah,
yes.
$69 for the torpedoes. I would, or $59. I would definitely buy a bundle of these, given that I had the money at the time. Right now, Buzzard's Banquet is most affordable for me to stick in my humidor for that, daily smoke or whatever, because I get 30 cigars for $40.
I have to agree. It's a very good price, and I highly, highly recommend it.
And because we're getting ready for a vacation of sorts, which is going to cost us, I just don't have the money to buy fancier sticks, really. So...
and for all of you out there,
I kind of can't wait till the vacation's over so that I can go back to better smokes.
Like I said, to Desert Smoke and you subscribers. By the way, did you notice something? We just hit our 100th subscriber.
Oh, we got 100 subscribers now. Thank you for subscribing. If it wasn't that we were poor cigar smokers, we'd probably do a giveaway of some sort.
Exactly.
But
I was thinking
we can't afford to do that, unfortunately.
So, anyways, I wanted to say also...
In fact, if anything, we'd be more likely to beg and say, please send us your cigars. and we know what a burden that would be, so we don't actually do that.
And just so you know, I checked out the location. We're not talking about it yet because we have some transgender people watching this channel. So let's just say we know there's 3 smoke shops in the city we're going to, so we're going to try to hit them up just to see what they have cigar-wise.
Yeah, they're very standard smoke shops, though. It wouldn't be like the one city we were going to where you had some of the key cigar shops in the country in that city. This city's just a small city, basically, and it's not a cigar.
Small city with about 15 golf courses and 300,000 people living there.
I'll agree with that, but as we found out, there's only like 3 or 4 smoke shops, and most of them seem geared towards glass pipes and cheap discount cigarettes, and not towards cigars. Even though I will say Big Smoke seems geared towards the cigarettes, they have a very nice humidor selection, so we may end up surprised. Anyways, I think we can leave it at that right now and come back to you in the final third to finish this video up. So we'll see you in a little while.
Yep, see you in a little while. Welcome back, everyone, to Living Simply and Fun. So, Aaron, you two go first.
Well, final third. So, verdict time and stuff. But first, let me discuss the flavor just a bit more. And pour Rita another glass of wine, number 4 for her.
This is some really good wine, by the way.
This so far has been about a 2-hour cigar, and it's not even done yet. In fact, this is, to me, about where the third starts. So, I probably got another good 20 to 30 minutes.
I'm going to use it.
And so that makes this cigar a 2.5-hour cigar for $3. That doesn't have many burning issues. I've had one fix. Big whoop-de-doo. I'm beginning to get a little unravel here, but I'm not worried about that because it's getting down there. The flavors, well, I'll wait for Rita to return to talk about the flavors. She should have done that before we started this. But talk about the wine briefly. It's still a fantastic pairing. Your thought on the wine and the pairing?
It is awesome. I do want to say, for the record, whoever did the wine reviews for this wine
Don't know wine.
is a jack-off. However, because
I think they gave it bad because it's Francis Coppola.
Francis Coppola is
and
awesome and patent.
Because he's a director, producer, they just decided to say, well, it's gimmicky.
Hey,
This is not gimmicky.
I want to say something. Francis Coppola, from what I understand, is an awesome wine drinker and wine taster and bought his own winery for a reason. However, any jackoff that thinks the Dillhole deserved to be fired from patent is a moron, because if it wasn't for him winning from the, what was that one award? The Emmy or Grammy from the Mafia ones, the Godfather, he wouldn't have gotten it with patent. So patent is awesome.
Now, I want to talk about the flavor briefly. In the final third, it's changed flavor again. As I said, it went from leathery to kind of a oatsy farm-like. Now it's kind of picked up more of a slight pepperish, but the main flavor is now that woodsiness. Woodsiness? Nish Patel? I don't know. Anyways, it's got a very strong, robust flavor of like some hardwood. I couldn't tell you because I really don't do any woodwork. I've worked with briar, and briar dust tastes nothing like this, and I've gotten briar dust in my mouth before. But put that phone down.
You're talking, so.
So, the one thing I'll say that's a drawback is, at this point, I want to smoke down to where my fingers are, and it's already getting hot.
It's a torpedo, that's why.
Yeah, and, well, I don't always have that problem with torpedoes. So there might be a little drawback there. I got to give the cigar itself, due to the value of it and how long it smokes, a 10. I can't give it anything less because this is worth every penny, this cigar. And I always like to look at affordability for pocketbooks when I do a review. Is it worth the dollars? This one is definitely worth the dollars. The Clarett has lived up to every expectation I had for it. I really was hoping it'd be an amazing wine, and I gotta say that the Clarett is an amazing wine. It has negative reviews. They are unfounded. I think it's only because of who makes it, and they think it's gimmicky, and they don't know what a Claret's supposed to taste like, so they're sitting there expecting a Cabernet, and it's not a Cabernet, and it never was a Cabernet.
I want to say, from my research before Aaron and I opened the bottle, the Clarett is it, or is it Clarett? The Clarett said it's between a Cabernet Sauvignon and a Bordeaux wine fused together. Fusion.
Yeah, and to me, this pairing is amazing, so I got to give the wine a 10, the pairing a 10, and the cigar a 10. This has been a perfect experiment. I will say one other thing, though. Inhaling the smoke by mistake like it's floating in the air, it is kind of strong. And so this would be a probably good outdoor smoke on a windless day. But, or having only one going in a room at a time. Or having some ventilation that sucks all the smoke out.
I just want to say
windows open or something.
My Aunt Aya, she watches these videos, by the way, for us. She always is looking probably for good cigars to buy her husband. And this one I highly recommend, as Aaron said. And by the way, Auntie, since you're watching this, I highly recommend the wine because you are not really a cigar smoker. I did tell you to try the Java Mint by Drew
Which
Estate.
we thought was too sweet.
Anyways, I thought, or the Cuba Cuba for you,
and that
Auntie.
was almost perfect.
Anyways, what I recommend with this wine, if you do not want to pair it with the cigar with you and Uncle, buy the wine outright. It might be almost $20 in Texas, but you will not regret it.
Well, this was $20 at Safeway, but it was on sale for $13.99. And that's actually what swayed me to just go ahead and do it. Because I was going to spend between $8 and $10. I figured what's $4 more to try this, which has been on my radar since I saw it. And I'm like, I got to try that. I got to try it. I've been wanting to try a Clarett for a while. I even mentioned to my dad like 2 months ago, one of these days I got to try a Clarett. Well, I get my chance, and it's everything I thought for a pairing with a cigar.
I give the cigar a flat outright 10. Yes, it is a complex cigar. It changes flavors. As Aaron said, I'm just picking up hints of barley, oats, and hay at the final part of the cigar, but it's well worth it. Plus the fact, I just want to say for the record, and I thank Aaron for this, besides buying the wine and giving me a cigar to sample, is I'm also happy the report that me and Aaron's looking into trying possibly tonight, since we're not going to bed early, Dragon Age 2, since he sold me on it, since he bought them for me for Christmas. So, thank you for the Christmas gift of Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition. We were watching reviews because he said, hey, we looked up games for the DS and the PSP. Let's check out
Have
these.
you ever watched reviews for the games I got you? And she said no. And I know she wanted them because she was addicted to Dragon Age. Oh, little social boy came back.
I think I put in, almost 100 hours in Dragon Age or more?
It was about 20 hours of playthrough, and you did at least 10 playthroughs.
Oh, yeah.
So that's 200 hours that you put in.
Don't forget, sweetheart, if we're going to be doing that, and I'm loaning him the Dragon Age 1 when his PS3's fixed, this little sweetie is going to be working with me here at Living Simply and Fun to review some of the RPGs that we have. I mean, we have like 20 reviews.
Well, I got to review Disgaea, the first one, but I want to get a little further into it.
I was going to ask you about
anyways,
that game.
We're talking cigars here. We can do that for another video.
My cigar went out.
That's the first. We'll light it back up.
I will light it back up. And he is good, even though he's not a salonist. We're going to try again on my hair.
So, the other thing I got to say about the cigar is so many cigars that take 2.5, 3 hours to smoke, they get boring after an hour or so if the flavors don't change. And it's just like, more of the same. This, it keeps you interested in it. It from beginning to end, you're looking forward to the next puff. It's almost addictive that way.
How is the flavors on the, just out of curiosity, since we're talking cigars for you, the viewers watching this, how was it when it came to the Brickhouse Maduro? Did it boring after an hour?
No. But I just want to stick to this cigar. That's what this video's about.
We didn't do a Maduro review.
And I know good and well that this video altogether is longer than 20 minutes because I think the beginning of this was 13 minutes, but we talked about 6 minutes before we started it. But the final thing I gotta say is that of all the Rocky Patel cigars I've smoked, which I've smoked the Ocean Club, the Velvet, the Renaissance,
You actually tried a Velvet?
yes.
I found the Ocean Club to be really good, but
tried,
I want to do a review on it.
I've tried 3 of the Mulligans, the Cargo, 3 Edges, a Decade, and various other ones. I can't name them all offhand. This is by far probably the best Rocky Patel I have ever had. And that's a comparing of others that I've had.
I just got to ask, how's the Rocky Patel Mulligan Masters compared to the one you tried the other night, the Barber Pole?
This is better than the Barber Pole, and the Barber Pole was pretty good. So, all I gotta say is, this cigar is a definite do, and the pocketbook isn't going to be horribly affected by it, which makes it even better. So, I'm going to leave it at that. 10-10-10. Pairing wine cigar.
Okay, for me, as I said, the cigar is 10. The pairing with the wine is a definite flat 10. If I can go over 10 and say it's 100, I would.
Agreed.
And the other thing is the wine itself, because how many wines have we tried in our life together in the last 10 years, sweetie?
Probably a good 3 or 4 dozen minimum. And because we don't drink a lot of wine, and we should. But one last thing about this is it's the only Clarett I could find on the market, and it's worth every penny. This is a wine I would buy again. It's not exactly the best on my pocketbook, so I would save it for an important event.
Tell you what, I'll buy the next Clarett on February 4th, sweetheart. Even though we're not going to be... Well, we're going to pair it with something else. He's the cigar expert. He goes into the humidor and he just says,
I used to say Zigaree was my favorite because it was a white and it was sweet, and I kind of like the white sweets. But this is my favorite red. At this point.
The Zigaree, the reason I was going is because Sweetheart here had one in his fridge for several years. He was hoarding,
and it
turned nasty. And
white wines do not age.
That's why I'm thinking, because no offense to anyone out there, including Desert Smoke, you guys are awesome, by the way. I like throwing in that one. You are awesome. And we always like the little cigars you've sent us to review. We really love those. I just want to say, not like Aaron's dad, Poppy, who's still got an ice wine in his fridge from 10 years ago. It's not going to even be good.
And another thing about the Clarett is I know it ages well, or supposed to, because I was reading a book that was written in 1898, and they were talking about bringing out a bottle of 1870 Clarett. And I was like, whoa, 1870, and the book was written in 1899. That's a 30-year-old Clarett, basically, that the guy's asking for, and it was exorbitant for the cost at the time. So I suppose that this would actually age very well, even though a couple reviewers said it ages horribly. Maybe this one does. I don't know. I'm not aging it. And I see no reason to age it because it's got a brilliant flavor. Anyways, that's it from me.
Exactly.
I don't want this video
the wine is
40 minutes
10,
long.
and the wine, in my opinion, is a 10. Flat out right. Flat out right. I was going to make a joke, but I don't think I want to make a joke in this video.
Okay.
But I will gladly do it for you all, since I made you all probably wondering.
No, now I'm scared.
I was just thinking, for future cigar reviews between April and December and onwards, maybe you guys... Maybe, when it comes to cigars and wine, boobs will sell to get you to buy it.
No, because we want to use honesty. And we want to... Our main point in this is the price point. Is it worth the money?
And right before, just so you all know, because Aaron and I are going on this vacation, I'm getting a boob job. So, the bottom line is we will be trying to do some reviews with my laptop and this camera in the hotel while smoking and drinking wine.
I'll tell you this beats out a Diamante, which is $20.
Diamante is 30, sweetheart. I paid 30, remember?
What are some of the others that we've had that are rather expensive? There's a couple Gurkhas we've had.
Just this beats out, in my opinion. He hasn't tried it. The 1926 Padron serial numbered.
So, if you're going to compare this to $20 cigars, this is better than some of the $20, $30 cigars on the market. So, why buy a $20, $30 cigar when you can buy a $3 cigar that tastes just as good or better?
However, I will say this before I go. From Famous Smoke Shop, thanks to Sweetie here, I saw a cigar I'd like to try that I can never get a hold of. I don't know if they still make them. The CAO Vision, which is a serial numbered cigar.
And one that I've had a hard time tracking down that I want to try is Stradivarius.
Those things are always sold out. I've been looking every week. So if any of you out there got a Stradivarius or two of them, please donate.
And you don't mind spending $60 basically to give us cigars, which I'm sure you don't want to. And we wouldn't expect it anyways. But anybody who wants us to do a review of a certain cigar because they just want to see how we review it, you're welcome to give us something. Feel free to,
yeah, exactly. We'll give you our post office badge.
We'd be quite embarrassed, and all we could do is thank you in the video, too.
Yes, exactly. And I just want to say, before I go, the only cigar that beats this Mulligan in my heart is the Cohiba Siglo VI Havana.
And that's still close. I mean, this has all the flavor I wanted from that, and that had a lot of flavor. But this burns longer.
Exactly.
And
as
it's
you
cheaper.
Can see.
Well, anyways, we should end the video.
Yes. So please add, subscribe, please post comments, please leave feedback, suggestions. Thank you. And may God bless you all. Thank you, and have a good night.